so they don't do that to me.
I know, but we're going on and.
Well, we are.
30
Okay.
seconds.
Okay, never mind. I will just have to deal with it.
And they should be okay.
They're wobbly, because they're not burned in.
Next time I put them out there, I'll melt them down, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I always do that, because I know they're silly.
Are we live?
Almost live. Almost live. We're not memorized yet.
I won't have an opening song because without accompaniment, it's like showing off.
Well, she'll do well. I'm going to see.
We're live?
We're live.
Oh, good. We'll get started in just a couple minutes, folks. Shabbat Shalom, Daniel.
Oh, there you go. You got somebody for a song.
Okay, here's the.
Oh, you didn't get my message.
I didn't get your message, no.
Okay.
You came here for
Frank
work
couldn't.
probably, right?
You know what?
Yeah, it's just,
But we don't have his book or anything, so.
yeah, I can do that also, the tambourine thing, but I'm sorry, I mean, I just,
No, you didn't see the message. How would you bring your guitar without knowing?
I'm sorry, I thought, Frank was gonna be here.
Who? Oh, he was here 2 weeks ago. And he's okay. His wife Ellen is not at 100%, and he thought best to stay with her. So, Aaron, Shabbat Shalom. Denise, Shabbat Shalom. You folks at home, Shabbat Shalom. It appears to be 7:30, so I'm going to assume we are broadcasting. And to those of you who are at home, welcome. We're delighted to have you with us. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Barry Nicholsberg. I have the honor of being the cantorial soloist here at Temple Beth David in Snellville, Georgia. We are proud members of the Union of Reformed Judaism, and we are located 20 miles east of downtown Atlanta. Off to my left is Daniel Bordeaux, and Daniel, I think the old term for it was doubles and brass, people who could perform something and then they also took up horns. Well, Daniel is very close to that because he's a percussionist who took up the guitar but didn't get my message this evening to bring his guitar, but we will thoroughly enjoy the percussion, no doubt. So, with that, back at the board, we have Dennis Wright, who is helping, he's our truly our streaming specialist. He's kicked it up a notch or two, and for that we are in his debt. And sitting next to him this evening is Denise Whitlock. So, with that, my thanks to you all. Bear with me through this. I want you to take a deep breath in, and you're breathing the last 6 days, all the craziness. Bring it in and exhale. And the next time you inhale, inhale Shabbat. Peaceful. Where was I last Shabbat? Where was I physically? And where was I spiritually? Was I rushed or did I savor the coming of Shabbat? happened in the past 6 days? You know, they go so quickly, we hardly even notice. They just fly by. What kind of person was I this week? Was I thoughtful? Was I superficial? Was I preoccupied? Was I appreciative? Did I laugh? Did I cry? Did I tell anyone how much I love him or her or them? Did I use my week well? And what does that even mean? What lessons will I take with me into the future? As I enter Shabbat, I release the past week, its joys and its sorrows. I free myself from misgivings or guilt. I am ready to look for new happiness and bring the best of me to new experiences during the week to come. With that, Deborah Lee, would you do us the honor of lighting the Shabbat candles, please? As she gets up there, I will tell you that it has been a very eventful week in my life, in great part because this coming Tuesday, I officially retire. Having been in business for 50 years, I'm just getting out of the way so you can see her.
Mazel tov. As I light these Shabbat candles.
Oh, sorry, excuse me.
Yes.
I don't think your microphone is picking you up. And page 120 and 121, if you'd like to follow along.
As I light these Shabbat candles, give light to all who behold them. So may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness remind us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Okay, try the other one. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallow us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu
Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Yes, I can start in the higher key. I just would rather not. Would you please turn to page 138 and join me in singing Lecha Dodi. We welcome the Sabbath bride. We sing verses 1, 5, and 9. On the 9th verse, invite you please to stand up, face the door you came in if you're at home, into whatever room you're in. And if you can't stand physically, please stand psychologically and welcome the Shabbat bride. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nikabela la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala. Pene pene Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'diborecha. Hishmi'anu elanu chad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad. l'shem u'tiferet la 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 l'chadadi likrat kala penei Shabbat nikabela l'chadadi likrat kala penei Shabbat nikabela Hitoreri Kiva orech kumi uri shir daberi Kibod Adonai alayich ni la 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 chadadi likrat kala penei Shabbat nikabela l'chadadi likrat kala penei Shabbat nikabela Bo'Iv Shalom Hateret Bala Gam Besimchat Sola Ochemuneam Sigula Bo'ichala La 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 chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nikabela l'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nikabela. Please be seated. For those of you who are watching from somewhere and are not in the Atlanta area, we're having winter. It was 40 degrees above zero. But it's going down to 17 tonight, so I'm told. So many people who otherwise might have been here said, I'm not driving that. And I absolutely understand, but I do hope you're watching. And for those of you from away, Atlanta is experiencing its 1 week of winter. Okay, with that, let's go to page 144. Please join me as you will as I chant the Reader's Kaddish, the Chatzi Kaddish. This denotes the break between sort of the lighthearted, fun part, and now it gets a bit more serious. Yikadal v'yitkadash shmei rabba b'yalma divrach yirtei v'yamnich malchotei v'chayechol yamecha uvchayedecha be'Yisrael bagala ubizman kariv v'imaro amen. Yeheshmei Rabbo Mivorach Li'alam U'almeo Maya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitba'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh V'yitadav V'yitalav Shemei D'Kadashah Barechu Le'elamim kol b'chata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata dahamiran li'alma v'imaru. Amen. Would you please turn to page 146 and rise for the call to worship, the Baruch Hu. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMivorach Baruch Adonai Adonai Hamivorach Hamivorach Le'olam Va'ed Hamivorach Hamivorach Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. If you would please turn to page 150 and join me in reading at the bottom of the page, starting with everlasting love. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Would you please turn to page 152 and rise for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Thank you. Please be seated. Page 154, the very next page, is the Via Havta. It comes straight from the Torah, and its cantation is different from anything else I will sing this evening, because it is the cantation found in the Torah. In short, if we were sitting in a synagogue 3,000 years ago, it probably sounded much like what it's going to sound like today, and what it will sound like 3,000 years from now. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol miyodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta arbam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'leftecha v'derech u'b'shovtecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot ben einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'sharecha L'mahan tiskaru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yetem kadoshim leloechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeichem mieretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. If you'll please turn to page 158 and read along with me at the bottom of the page, starting with who is like you. Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Your children witnessed your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cried. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praise to you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. And also on page 158, please join me as I sing Mi Chamocha. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedaber kodesh, nora tehilot osei feleh, nora tehilot osei feleh. Malechotecha hara uvanecha, bukei ayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, ze Elianu v'yamru, ze Elianu v'yamru. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedaber kodesh, nora tehilot osei feleh, nora tehilot osei feleh. I don't know that anybody can hear you because you're not mic'd. If you want to bring that mic down, it's on wire. It'll more than, it's just the easiest. Really? Okay. Well, if you're not hearing him. Congratulations. Okay, with that, page 160. Join me in singing Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Ve'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim, l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shalamecha, ufros aleinu sukat shalamecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wing, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Beautiful lullaby. I would invite you, please, to turn to page 164 and rise for the tefillah. Anananananana Adonai, Ananananana Satai Titach, Ananananana Ufiyagi, Ufiyagi Tahilatecha, Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana Satai Titach. Anananana ufiyagi tahilatecha. Anananana Adonai. Anananana satai titach. Anananana ufiyagi tahilatecha. Page 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Elohei Zilpah, Elohei Bilhah, Elohei Tamar. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zolchei Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umegula Livnei Bneihem, L'ma'an Shmo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, B'Yetzrat Sarah, page 168. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakal atarav le'oshia, Mashiv haruach morid Hashem, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somef noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Kayem emunato li shenei afar micha mocha bal kivurot umido melech melech memit umechayeh umatzmiya mitshua v'nemanat alecha yod ha'akol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh ha'akol. Page 170. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh. Please be seated. Our worlds are busy and noisy. Traffic jams, horns blaring, cell phones ringing, text messages buzzing. Too often we hear without listening. Let's take a moment to embrace the gift that only the quiet in this sanctuary, in your own minds, can really deliver. I invite you to join me in praying silently. Please turn to page 371. Oh, before I read this, I want to let you know I read something very recently within the past month that there are other synagogues now adding Zilpah and Bilhah to their services. I haven't added Tamar's, at least not that I read. But I'm glad to know it's not us who stand alone. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, Leah, Zilpah, Bilhah, and Tamar, bless and heal those who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and for their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say, Amen. It has just occurred to me, you do have, thank you. Thank you very much, sweetheart. Please, if you have names you would like to add to this week's Misha Berach list, this would be a great time as Jeannie comes around. And for those of you watching from afar, would you please type those names into the chat box, and we'll make sure Dennis reads them.
Mary, Jonathan Paradis, and Bill Matachis.
Is it on? Yeah, says it's on. Dennis, are there names to read?
Okay, so we have Tanya Hurst, Carol Pascal, Diana Berger, Ann Moore, Heather Murray, Shelley Pengel, Perkel, I'm sorry, Pat Bierman, Dan Swiger, Barbara Whitlock, Jackie Freeman, Don Freeman, Terry Hurst, Daniel Brito.
Thank you. I will add Heather Murray, Barbara Freed, Denise Whitlock, Wendy Fine, Frank Monteleone, Ellen Monteleone, Dave Erickson, Shelley Perkel, Eva Baker, Mary Omer, Jeffrey Bethel, Jerry Hunt, Mark Epstein, Kay Omer, Hannah Litzo, Lloyd Stephen Reiford Jr., Jimmy Carter, and all those who are currently in and fighting for freedom in both Ukraine and, of course, in Israel.
We have three more back here, Linda Finger, Patty Leone, and Bart Schlachter.
Page 371, Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor Habrecha Laimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor haberecha Yavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Thank you for joining in. This week's Parsha, that part of the Torah that's being read around the world this weekend, really focuses on the seventh plague, hail. And it said that Pharaoh said to Moses, please, your God is more powerful than anything I could ever imagine. I'll let you go, but please ask him to stop the hail. And Moses did something that he hadn't done before. He prayed like this. Why? To show he had nothing left. It was, my hands are empty. I have to give it all to you. Please. And Moses prayed for Pharaoh. He prayed for this man who had terrorized his people for 240 years. He wasn't 240 years, but down the line. Who kept 10 generations of Israelis in bondage. 10 generations of Israelis who had no idea about God. They knew how to make bricks, and they slaved all day to get them done, and then make more. So, what was going on with Pharaoh? God, it said that Pharaoh had a hardened heart. But God readily admits that Pharaoh's heart was hardened after each plague because God intervened. Why? That's a great question. Why would God intervene and harden Pharaoh's heart even more? Because he was proving something to the Israelites. He was proving he was real. For all of the plagues, total darkness, the Jews were in daylight. They could actually see a black wall in front of them where all the Egyptians were, but they couldn't even see their hands for their faces. It was totally black. When the locusts came, they came only in the Egyptian part. The Jews watched. They watched the rivers turn to blood. They watched all of these things, and they were not within the line of fire. Remarkable. Why? Because for 10 generations they lived without having a clue who God was, and God thought to himself, I have to prove myself to these people. If I do one miracle and they're free, why would they believe me? How would they believe in me? And so God set out to provide whatever plagues were necessary to prove to the Israelites that God was real. And every time, Pharaoh would say, go, and God would harden his heart. And next week, we will talk about the final 3 plagues. You all know what happened. It's not a mystery. The question is, how does this relate to us today? And who is God reaching down and hardening the heart of who? You can go back centuries, you can go back wherever, and there's always someone who no one understands as being overtly cruel, overtly narcissistic. Why would God harden that heart? We have a lesson to learn. It's up to us to figure out what the lesson is. The lesson with the Israelites, now that we look back, 3,000 years later, we look back on it and we say, oh yeah, I know what that is, because we've had 3,000 years to study it. But it is up to us to determine in any generation why the people who, I'll use this term only as a bad pun, plague us, why we let them do it. If we don't let them, they don't do it. Why? All that is some good fodder for the week ahead. Shabbat Shalom. I would ask you, please, to turn to page 586 and rise for the Aleinu. And Daniel, would you help me on the bima? Please. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teikedu l'aleotze breshi, shelo asanu kigoye haratzon, v'lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, Shelo samach elkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamona. V'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shehu noteh shamayim v'yoseh haaretz, Moshav Yakarov b'shamayim ima'al, Ushina uzo, Bigohei meromim, Hu Eloheinu Einod, Emet Malkeinu Efet Zulato, Kakatu B'Torato, V'yadata yom v'hashivota elevavecha, Ki Adonai hua Elohim, B'shamayim imal, V'al ha'aretz mitachat einod. Page 588. For you spread out the heavens and established the earth. Your majestic abode is in the heavens above, and your mighty presence is in the loftiest heights. You are our God, and there is none else. In truth, you are our sovereign without compare, as is written in your Torah. Know then this day and take it to heart, that Adonai is surely God in the heavens above and on the earth below. There is none else. Page 591. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lamelech al kol ha'oretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Please be seated. Are we in a period of Shiva, the first 7 days since someone passed? Shloshim, the first 30 days. Before I read all the other names, would like to remember a woman who died 13 years ago, and with her took her music, fortunately left some behind. It was Debbie Friedman. We've been singing her music all evening. And she has made an impression not just in Reform synagogues, her work is also sung in conservative synagogues. And maybe even, I don't know, perhaps also in Orthodox. But she was a truly gifted woman who died of pneumonia on January 9th, 2011. And I wanted to make sure we remembered her. We remember these people who were very close to this synagogue, directly or indirectly. Gerald Simmons, Jean Porpa, Joel Kellner, Jack Pesarillo, Yetta Rose, Ben Levitt, Richard Levitt, Daniel Jacob Horowitz, Carol Nicholsberg, Sophia Epstein Friedman, Ruby Andrews, Chaim Stuckler, Amelia Gress, Barbara Schall, Lillian Ely, Jessica Levine Whitman, Howard Rubin, Mark Finkelman, Michelle Roch, Doris Potter, Fanny Levitt, Elsie Eagle, Charles Frank, Ira Kay, Howard Rosenberg, Kenneth Barretts, Alvin Morris Kaplan, and William Darnell. We remember all of them. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. Those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we've drawn into our hearts with our own. Of them all, we say, Zichronam Livracha. May their memories always, always be for a blessing. Are there any names you would like to add from afar? Put them in the chat box. Do we have any, Dennis? No? Okay. Very good. Then I would ask you please to turn to page 598. Please rise as a community of one to support those who are in mourning, as together we recite. Yit gadol v'yit kadash shemei Rabba, v'alma tivrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam u'almei olmaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit ba'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh. V'yit hadar v'yit halel v'yit halal shemed kudsha barichu. La'elamim kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'miran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba mim shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mroma uyaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and all Israel. And let us say, Amen. Okay. James, do you have any announcements?
Keep coming to our bilingual Spanish classes. We got our first actual bilingual conversation on
I don't
Sunday.
think they can hear you. Maybe we need to get you a microphone.
Thank you if you can hear me or not. I'll just try to speak loud enough. But please keep coming to our bilingual English/Spanish classes on Sundays at 10. It was great. Our last one we had the first time with 3 people where we could speak English and Spanish. Up until that point, either one person would show up or no people. So it was really active. It's kind of cool to see all the different people that want to learn at our community. So keep coming every Sunday at 10 o'clock. There is Hebrew School.
Thank you. There are some birthdays coming up. Scott Whitlock, Maya Dickens, they share a birthday. Ronnie Pesarillo is having a birthday as well within the coming week. Are there any other announcements to make? Before we finish, I would imagine that those of you who have been paying any attention over the years have noticed I'm kind of dressed down tonight. I have been, for the past 12 days, with my head in a computer to get all the continuing education hours necessary to recertify my paramedic license. And I don't have a whole lot of time to do this. So pretty much by the end of the month and 84 hours is 84 hours. You just can't stay awake that long and keep studying. So anyway, when I got finished tonight, where I just pulled myself away from the computer long enough to be here, it was about 5:20, and I was really tired. And I just thought, I'm just going to go as is. That's why. Would you please rise for Yivarechecha? Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka. May the Lord's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Lord's face turn toward you and grant you peace. V'yasem lecha shalom. May you go from strength to strength. Shabbat shalom. Please, everyone, drive safely.